Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and welcome back to yet another video where we take a look at some of the Buccaneers who are more likelier than not going to have an influential impact on the Bucs 2018 and 2019 season. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Desean Jackson. I hope you all enjoy. To start things off, Desean Jackson attended Long Beach Polytechnic High School, where he started to show the beginning stages of how versatile he could be, not just as a wide receiver, but as a return man as well. During his time in high school, he became one of the highest recruited wide receivers in the nation, which eventually got him many offers from many very different types of colleges. However, he would eventually accept an offer from Cal University, where Jeff Tedford was the head coach. And fun fact, Jeff Tedford was also the offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2014, 3 years before Desean Jackson ever joined the team. Now, Desean Jackson would play for Cal from the 2005 season to the 2007 season and would wear the number 1 during the entirety of his college career. You can also see him wearing this number in training camps, in practices, and other Buccaneers events. Now, Desean Jackson had the first ever college game where a player would score an offensive and a special teams touchdown. Desean Jackson would leave Cal in 2007 for the 2008 NFL Draft. During his time in college, he would hold the Pac-10 records for the most punt return touchdowns in a season with 4, and the most punt return touchdowns in a career with 6, yet again showing how versatile Jackson can be as a return man as well as a wide receiver. Taking a look at his time with the Philadelphia Eagles, he was drafted in the second round of the 2008 NFL Draft. Now, he would only have one season under 1,000 yards in his first 3 years with the team, his best season being in 2009, where he had 1,156 yards, 9 touchdowns, as well as 29 punt returns, 441 yards, and 2 touchdowns, yet again showing that Desean Jackson is a very dangerous man as a wide receiver as well as a punt returner. Speaking of his returning ability, a lot of Eagles fans as well as NFL fans are always going to remember the miracle at the Meadowlands. In a game against the New York Giants in 2010, the Eagles had made a fourth quarter comeback and had tied the game with 14 seconds left to score 31-31. Jackson would field a punt from the Giants and return 65 yards for the game-winning touchdown. This is the first and only punt return to win a game in NFL history, and Desean Jackson even fumbled the punt before he picked it up and ran it for the eventual touchdown. Again, showing that this man is very clutch, very good at the return game, and overall just a very good football player. Taking an even deeper look at his time with the Eagles, especially towards the end, there just seemed to be a rift between Jackson and the front office in terms of negotiations and contract talks, among other things. Now, Desean Jackson would sign an extension in 2012 and would slightly struggle with injuries. He would end up only playing 11 games in 2012, and he did have some minor injuries where he would miss a game or two throughout most of his seasons. However, when he did finally play an entire 16 games for the Philadelphia Eagles, it was his best season ever as a wide receiver, where he finished with 1,332 receiving yards as well as 9 touchdowns. However, after his first 3 years, the Philadelphia Eagles did finally stop using him as a return man, which in my opinion was a very big mistake because Jackson was very electric as a return man and he proved that he could sway the balance of a game. After signing a 5-year, $51 million contract extension in 2012, Desean Jackson would be released after the 2013 NFL season. He left the Eagles with franchise numbers, with 4th most receiving yards ever for the Philadelphia Eagles with 6,117, 8th most in receptions with 356, 9th most in receiving touchdowns with 32, and tied for 3rd most with 100+ receiving yard games with 20. Desean Jackson would sign a 3-year, $24 million contract with the Washington Redskins before the start of the 2014 NFL season. Now, during his time with the Redskins, he was still a very dynamic wide receiver with 1,169 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in his first year with the team, and he had 1,005 receiving yards as well as 4 touchdowns in his final year with the team. However, sandwiched in between these 2 years was a very poor 2015 season where Desean Desean Jackson could not stay healthy, only starting and playing in 9 games, and he finished with 528 receiving yards as well as 4 receiving touchdowns, his worst season ever in his career. Desean Jackson has very bad problems with staying healthy, as he has only had 1 season where he has played a full 16 games, which was in 2013. However, Desean Jackson has proven that when fully healthy, he is able to be a very productive wide receiver in this league. Desean Jackson would sign a 3-year, $33.5 million contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before the start of the 2017 NFL season. Now, Desean Jackson could once again not stay healthy for a full 16 games in a season, and he finished with 50 receptions, 668 receiving yards, as well as 3 receiving touchdowns in his first year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, a lot of this can be chalked up to just badly timed injuries, as well as a lack of the chemistry with starting quarterback Jameis Winston, how he could not hit the deep ball, which Desean Jackson shines best as a deep ball receiving threat. The big question moving forward with Desean Jackson is, can he stay healthy? Again, he has only had 1 season where he has played and started an entire 16 games in his career. However, that 1 season he put up the best numbers ever in his career, finishing with 1,332 receiving yards as well as 9 receiving touchdowns. So it all comes down to whether or not Jackson can stay healthy for a full year, because if he can, it very much looks like he could be a very special player for this Buccaneers organization. Another question that you have to ask yourself is, will the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally use Desean Jackson as a punt return weapon once again? Like he showed in high school, college, and his first 3 years with the Philadelphia Eagles, Desean Jackson has a very good ability to be a punt returner in this league. It all depends on if he is given the opportunity, and I feel that if he is, he will be able to show that he can still be a very effective returner in this league. Another concern facing Desean Jackson as well as the Buccaneers moving forward is, will the chemistry between himself and Jameis Winston finally begin to develop? Like I said earlier, the deep ball was not there for Desean Jackson when Jameis Winston was throwing the football. Now, Jameis Winston and Desean Jackson have both come out and said that they have worked together a little bit this offseason to try and get that chemistry more there. However, we still haven't seen that be productive on the field yet, so we have a lot of reason to be skeptical. It is also not good with the fact that Jameis Winston will be suspended for the first 3 games to start this season with backup Ryan Fitzpatrick, and it'll be very interesting to see if he can try and get the deep ball to Desean Jackson as well, and see overall how he works with the wide receivers and overall weapons that the Buccaneers have on the team right now. Another interesting situation that may arise is, where is Desean Jackson going to be used? Is he just going to be used as a primary deep threat, or is he going to be moved around a lot, specifically in the slot, with Chris Godwin emerging as a young second up-and-coming wide receiver? With the way things are looking right now, Bucs fans really need to hope that Desean Jackson can finally get some chemistry going with Jameis Winston as well as Ryan Fitzpatrick and get some of these deep balls going his way. Otherwise, we could be looking at a situation where Desean Jackson could be very expendable, with guys like Chris Godwin, Adam Humphries, as well as freshly drafted rookie Justin Watson on the roster. Things aren't looking as good for Desean Jackson in terms of roster security in a way. Yes, he is a very dynamic wide receiver in terms of not just receiving ability, but in punt returning ability, but there are some very young options behind him, so he needs to be very careful and hope that Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick can hit him on some of these deeper passes so that he can be a more productive player for this team. So let me know what you guys think about all of these things down in the comments section below. How do you feel about Desean Jackson's career up to this point? Do you think he can stay healthy? Again, he only had 1 season where he played a full 16 games. However, yet again, that was the best season of his career. Do you think he will be used as a return man? And if so, how do you think he's going to do? Or do you even think he's still going to be on the team? Do you feel that he's expendable? Do you feel that guys such as Chris Godwin and Adam Humphries deserve playing time over him, or do you feel that it's just an issue of chemistry reasons with Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick? And do you feel that they are going to develop on that chemistry and grow on it and finally be able to use Jackson properly in this offense? Where do you want to see him used? Maybe in the slot, maybe again as a returner, or maybe you just want to see him staying on the outside next to Mike Evans? I would love to know all of this down in the comments section below. If you have any suggestions for more players to be used in this deep dive series, again, leave those down in the comments section as well. I hope you all are enjoying this series, and I hope you're all having a wonderful time with the videos that I've posted. I'm always trying to make new and different content for you guys, so I hope you guys appreciate it. I'm enjoying making it, and we're having a pretty wonderful time doing it. Next video should be probably the final episode of the greatest Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all time, as I'm finishing with special teams, so definitely look forward to that. And again, like the video if you're a frequent watcher. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and hit the bell icon, so you can get notified whenever I do an upload or a live stream. Again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. But until then, goodbye for now, guys. See ya, and as always, go Bucs.